Hey, this is Greg with Greg's Organics in Grass Valley, and the purpose of this video is about gopher control. And we did have the wettest winter ever recorded last year, and I have not been able to find one gopher at my farm this year, if you can believe that. It's truly unbelievable. Last year at this time I probably had 20 or 30 that I had trapped. I haven't had I trapped one mole this year, and that's it. And what happened is it did rain like Noah's Ark proportions here. It was 5 inches overnight, so many times. So what happens is you get super saturation, and it's just running off because the ground is super saturated. Well, gophers den up. So they dig down and then they dig up, kind of like a beaver, and they make their little den underground. Well, when you get super saturation, what happens is there starts to basically block their exits, and they drown. And then if it's really a bad situation, they literally, the water just comes in and it just super saturates everything, and they're done. I have never seen so few ever in my life. So it was a great event for gopher extinction too. So we're at the upper field, and take a look. I mean, the squash is really coming on good. This will probably do in its peak probably 300 to 500 a day, depending on what's going on in pounds. But check it out. The first gopher mound that I could actually find of the season is right over here, and we're gonna go do some work on it. And Albert is right here, and he's ready to help too, right, dude? All right. I can tell you that I am truly excited about this event right here, because you know what? It's clearly a gopher, so check it out. All right. Yeah, you can see that this fine dirt, look at it's pretty dry, so it may have happened yesterday, but this is definitely a gopher dig out. So, you know the drill. Wow, the ground is hard. I don't ever disc or this part right here ever. So this is some really compacted dry ground. Wow, this one is definitely, feel something in there. See, the dog dug up the mound, so it's harder for me to figure out what direction they were digging from, because like I say, the half moon is always, their hole's gonna be perpendicular to that. And they push the dirt out and it makes a half moon. You can pretty much guarantee that the hole would be back here in that situation. But I don't know which way. And sometimes this can be a real challenge because you don't have any direction. Oh, boom. Is this another mole? I doubt it. They can't dig in ground like this. Okay, this is gonna be a challenge, I can tell you. You can see that fine dug up dirt. Look at it's a little bit darker than the dirt surrounding dirt, which means something was dug recently right there. Okay. Wow. Wow. I tell you what, half the battle is figuring out just where to set this thing. And I do not have a good direction on where this dirt originated from. You can see it's kind of loose right there. That looks like a gopher though to me, and not. A little soft right there. I can feel something under there. Wow. Here, come over here. I'm gonna hit it from the other side. Okay. So, is it coming this way? Yeah, if you go in a circular motion, you can sometimes help figure it out. And it was soft over here. Wait a minute. I think I got it right there. I think that's it. Here. Yeah, it's not a very big one if it is. Let's clear all this out. You can see a track right there that's softer. Huh. Pull this out and see, but I honestly don't know if there it is. There it is. Okay, I got it. This is a pretty small gopher. Here, let's switch sides now that I found it. Yeah, you can see that that's a challenge, but you know what? That's half the battle right there. So now what I'm gonna do is just make a proper size hole so I can get a trap in there. And man, that ground is hard. Yeah, you gotta respect some critter that's like the size of a large mouse that can dig through rock hard dirt like that. Their teeth are amazing, actually. So I have to, again, get my trap in this hole, just like that. So, you know, I've got to definitely do some excavating here to get it back in. And man, I hate to say it, but a pick might come in handy. Man. And I'm just gonna dig away here. God, maybe a hammer. I need a like sledgehammer in my kit now for this. Yep, there it is. Bingo. Bingo. And it's actually not that small of a gopher. So let me just do this. Oh, I tore my glove here. Gosh. So we've had a heat wave here recently that was brutal. It was 100 degrees, 98, 100 for like 7 days. And we're just coming off that. And I gotta tell you, it is such a relief to know it's not gonna be 100 today. It's supposed to be 80 something. I mean, hallelujah. God, look at how hard this ground is. I mean, and these rodents get through it. It's crazy. Gosh, Lee. I honestly believe that I might want to put a little mini sledge in there, because I could just pound that out so easily. That's a first. Okay, I'm getting close. You can see that's how the hole goes. And I might have enough room to get it in there. Probably not though. Yeah, this is, or maybe what I need to bring is I need to bring a little generator and a roto hammer. I'm joking. see, that's clearly his root. And all the other neighboring fields around here, there are normally like just gopher mounds everywhere, like right at the top of Alta Street up here. And I'm gonna set my trap, and there's really no mounds up there, so it really makes me realize the population is super low. Okay, see what I'm doing here? I set it roughly, real quick. Keep my thumb on the trip bar. Get this in the hole if I can. Oh, wow, that's a nice fit. Okay, so let's switch sides and then you can see how I set it easier. Okay. Yeah, so the hair trigger is the only way here, and you can see that I've got that right up the base of the trap, right in the hole. Okay, so I'm gonna test plunger movement, that's good. So then what I do is I just start at the back radius trip bar. I make sure it's forward and all the way against the flange. Then, and perpendicular to the plate. You can see that. Perpendicular is straight up and down. So, and I come over here, make sure this is up, because see again, these are on radiuses. So this first trip bar will go up, that will trip this one up, and then the plunger gets the rodent. So I've got both of these up. I've got this trip bar up against the plate right there. And here, let me point that out. This right here needs to be all the way against that tab. Because see, it's just imperative, because that's how you set your hair trigger. So both of these are up, perpendicular to the plate. And now let's set our hair trigger. And I do it by feel. And I leave my thumb on there, just to make sure I don't have to reset it. Ho ho. Okay, if you really look in there, that is a hair trigger. That just takes the absolute lightest pressure to trip that. And as you can see, this is in the middle of my road for the squash and tomato upper field. I'm gonna put a flag here. It's pretty obvious the trap's here, but you can never be too safe with that. Especially if you have kids. You need to address how you're gonna cover these traps, and that can be a big issue. So just make sure that your pets and animals and people know about the trap and where it is. So yep, and Albert, you know what? Thanks for your help, dude. You're the best little dog. And you know what? We're gonna check this in the morning. I predict that we'll have some success. And happy trap. Hey, so we're back. Set this trap here yesterday and it appears that we have some success. So let's take a look. Albert told me that we had success, so we're good. All right, you can see that the arm of the trap is somewhat perpendicular almost to the plate. You either have a rock, some dirt, or a rodent in there. I'm predicting rodent, but you never know in this business. You just pull it out and see. Holy Moses. Again, bulletproof ground. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this back slightly. Holy. Okay. We'll do it this way. Whoops. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's called some hard ground. I'm not wearing gloves today. Oh my gosh, was that tripped? I stand corrected. I hope I'm wrong. Let's investigate. Yeah, that gopher stuffed dirt in that, and it was actually caught on the sides of the tunnel by this. So you can see these, when it opens, it just kind of wedges itself. So I didn't think I'd be doing this, but I got to reset a trap, and I'll just skip the gloves today. Okay, so let's get over here so I'm not in the shade. So you can see that's fresh dirt. So the gopher did fill that with dirt to protect himself, and then subsequently set the trap off. So what I'm gonna do, oh, okay, he went that way. So would you pause that for a minute? Okay, we're back. I needed to get some gloves because this is gonna be more involved than I thought. Okay, so here's the story here. Come on in, Scott. I set the trap in here like this, okay? Exactly like this. And you can see the hole does a turn. And you know what? I stuck the bar all the way in, and it seemed like it didn't bottom out on anything, but it actually does and did. So there you go, the hole goes this way. So what I need to do is do a little more excavating and reset it. And I did have a hammer in the van, so watch this. The new standard is a hammer in the kit too now. And you can just look at how easy you can bust that out. Yesterday, I was flailing. Yeah, it turns that way, and it looks like it's going down and in. So I'm gonna estimate that I need the trap to be something like that. So I definitely need to take some more material out right here. Albert, right? Hey, are you sure about that? Hey, come here, come. Hey, buddy. Come here, see what I'm doing. That should do it. And let's get the spoon in there and make sure I got a clean run. It appears I do, but I'm not about to dig out that whole area to make sure. I'm gonna reset it. Ooh, yeah, it seems to be open. Yeah, I'm gonna set it in there. Okay, so here we go. Setting the trap. Put one trip bar down, and you can, once you get the first one set, you can hold it quite easily. So then I just put that back like so. It's roughly set. So I'm gonna fine tune it in the hole. You can see that this tab is perpendicular to the plate, straight up and down. This is forward, so it'll flip this up, and then that looks good. So I'm gonna set it in the hole, and then I'll do the hair trigger. I think I can get that in there. See that debris that just fell on the trap? That's to be avoided. You don't want anything on top of that. You want that to move as freely as it possibly can with as little resistance. Okay, so I'm going to have the first radius arm up perpendicular forward on the plate right here. And then I'm gonna push it forward to that tang right there, tab. And now I'm gonna do a hair trigger. And I kind of need to get around this side to do it. So I put my thumb on it, make sure the plunger moves freely. It really doesn't in this case. Now it does. So you just move it like so. And moving the trap slightly in the hole will allow that plunger to move more freely. And let's see. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. out cold lights. Okay, so it's typical to have a failure setting a trap sometimes. The dirt gets stuck in there. Don't be discouraged. Obviously, we have a better trap placement here. You need to be tenacious, but look at the results when you can control the gophers. In years past, I would have rows that would have half of the plants gone because they ate the roots when they were in the young plant development stage. And I haven't lost one plant this year. And like I said earlier, part of that's due to the wettest year ever recorded, and part of it is good integrated pest management and having multiple strategies on how to approach your problems. We're gonna come back tomorrow and see what's up here, and happy trapping. Hey, so we're back. We set this trap. It's been 2 days. I've been expecting something to hit on this trap, and they haven't. So what I'm gonna do is get down here and pull it out and see what's up. Again, when you're pulling the trap out, you immediately put your thumb on the trip bar and pull it out. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, you see it here, I pull it way back so there's no chance of this tripping if it's not touched. Okay, so let's look in here and see what's up. It doesn't appear that the hole has been plugged, but I haven't stuck my, no, this hole's open. Okay, so if you look at some of my other videos, spin around and shoot the hoop house in the shed. You see my tractor in there in that old shed? Well, gopher snakes live in that shed, several of them. So they're out here roaming around in the early morning when they're active, and in the evening when they're active, because this is the deal. Any snake is so vulnerable out here to hawks, and I have a couple that fly around here. And unfortunately, sometimes they get grabbed. But so I am gonna leave this open, is why I'm talking about all that. So odds are this evening they'll be up here roaming around and they'll get in this hole. So I'm gonna take this trap and come over here because I noticed a disturbance. I'm still gonna leave my flag right here just to mark that for a trip hazard. And let's move over here and see what's up. You can see we have some recent dig out activity here. So I'm gonna pull my water line out of the way. Clear some of this debris. Oh man, I cut my glove again. It's just so hard to keep these from breaking. Okay, so let's figure out what direction this rodent has been working. Looks like there could be a couple. And you can see that's a little bit darker. And you can see Albert. What's that, dude? What's that? Huh? What is that? Get it for me. Get it. Right here. Come on, get it. He's funny. Watch out, dude. Okay, let's figure out where this... I had a hard time finding the other one. Oh, boom. See that? I mean, that's how easy it is when you find the hole. Sometimes it's a real pain, but when you do hit their dig out, boom. So let's do this exercise. Okay, the gopher populations are so low right now. I talked to another local farmer and they just started to see the gophers just pop up too this week. It's really fascinating how it works, and they haven't seen very many either. So the predator pressure is higher than ever because the populations are so low. Like those snakes are just down there in that shed are just like where's the food? I mean, that's why the population is so high, because the gopher population was so high. So these few gophers that are popping up right here, they have the hawk, the snake, me, cats, fox. What else? They have so much pressure on them that, yeah, it's amazing. So it's pretty cool from my standpoint, and I welcome it. My point is this one gopher that I'm aware of at my farm right now is got it from like 6 or 7 angles 24/7. And if you look, take a pan out to the squash. I mean, I haven't lost one plant, and everything's thriving. And that's the best barometer of what the rodent pressure is, to be quite honest. Okay, so here we are. That is a clean hole, and that is no small little critter. And Albert, we're training him to try to smell these things out, but he's a love dog, and you know what? That's his job. Okay, so the hole goes both ways here. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so I am going to set the trap in this direction. I should probably dig that out a little bit. So I'll put the trap in one direction, and then I'll leave it open on the other side. So if the snake comes up here, he has a way in as well. Yeah, and the natural predators, I really can't emphasize enough how important it is to invite them in, because they can do most of the work for you. But gophers and moles and voles are very smart. They've survived ice ages and meteor hits and all kinds of crazy stuff. So, the pocket gopher. Okay, so, yeah. That seems like a straight shot, because again, you've got to make sure that you're not putting the trap, if there was the tunnel right there and I stick this in, the gopher's not going to do anything, because you've got it crossing his main hole. So you need to make sure that he can basically get behind the trap and go through there and trip it. Okay. That is one big hole. That's kind of scary. See how far I've got the trap in there? It's way in there. And look at the arm has movement. And I'm gonna twist that like up a little bit so it can go its full. When you have a rodent in there, this arm will be up straight anyway. But you do want to give it full range of motion. Okay. So let's make sure our plunger is free. That's the first thing I always do. It likes it right there better. Okay, so I've got my radius arms perpendicular to the plate. I know it's hard to see in there with the light, but and then what I do is I come over here and I flip this one up. Oh, yeah, oops. Okay, reset. And I'll do this out here. And that'll happen to you several times probably before you become proficient. So, but just again, keep your hands out of there, because it'll hurt you. Yeah, they bent it down more. Interesting. Those are typically straight up and down. Huh, I just noticed that. That's smart, because this is a newer trap. See, on this trap, it's almost straight up and down. They should bend that down lower. Man, that's a strong spring for that thing. Okay, so let's put this in. Check the plunger. Make sure the tabs are up. And this is forward. This is perpendicular. That's against this tang right here. I can't emphasize that this little bar has to be all the way against that flange. Okay, and now it's ready. Whoop, but if you look, this came down. These will want to rotate on you. So when you, before you finally set the trap, you got to go back and check to make sure that these are up. And just make sure to watch the detailed video on how to set the trap too. And once you get some experience, it'll be easy. And once you have this skill, you really can keep the population in check organically. Oh man. Okay, there you go. There's another successful trap set. And again, we're gonna leave that hole over there open. Hopefully the snake can get in there and do the job for me, but we'll see. We'll come back tomorrow and see what's up. Happy trapping. Hey, so we're back. This is day 4 pursuing this gopher. And if you come over here, you gotta be like an Indian. Oh my gosh. Okay, see this line right here? See this V? And you can see that like the fox or someone stepped on it right there. And then come look in the hole and see that path? Snake went in there. For sure. Those are called snake tracks. So that strategy worked really well. So now the $1 million question is what's over here? All right, so let's take a look. You can see, come on in, Scott. You can see that the trap is, the arm is up and perpendicular roughly. So that means something is caught in those jaws. So let's do this. Let's pull it out and it's not collapsing. Voila. Okay, so notice how he wasn't stuffing any dirt at all into the trap. So he basically nudged into it and probably tried to back out. And got him right in the snout. So what I do here is, Albert, you want to check that dog out? I just leave him out because either the fox, gopher snake, gosh, if I was really thinking, I'd go take it down to that shed and feed him. I don't know if they would eat a dead one. I've never done that, but I usually just leave them out. And then the fox or the hawk will probably get this one. Maybe the snake. I've never really tried that. I don't know the answer to that. But so we have a successful catch here. This is the only gopher that I've had to get in 2017 all year long. Again, I talked about the drought and the overpopulation and then the 100 inches of rain here locally. Literally, I mean, that's a fairly good sized gopher. Take a shot of it. And I don't think it's that big, but the good news is that, you know what, we're on top of this and they really don't affect the squash that much, but the whole idea is to have 0 gophers. So we'll post more videos as the gophers roll in, but happy trapping. Okay, one more thing I'd like to add is this. I am gonna leave these holes open here because the snake obviously went in that open one. They're so smart, they know what's up with this trap. I've never had one get caught in a trap, ever. So I'm gonna leave both of these open with flags on them because of the snake population. If this was my yard, okay, what I would do is I would actually leave traps in these holes because your neighbors have gophers. And as soon as they realize there's no competition there for that territory, they will move in the same hole network. And you can just get them right when they roll in. So a very different strategy depending on where you were at. Because I have natural predators, if a snake gets in a gopher network like this, it'll take out every vole, every mole, everything. Gone. So my strategy is to leave them open. Happy trapping.